javelin throw. We should have a javelin. Welcome to the show. First time right here.
Hi, Dana Lyon.
Hi, Kara Winger.
Rocket ship. And you go like this. Ready?
Hey, real quick, how's the American grip working out?
I love my new grip so much.
I can't dispute what I'm seeing.
See our last video.
I would like to talk about the right to left, if you're a right-handed thrower, the right to left component leading into kind of an overarching idea of what the hip does, the hip action.
Yeah, and your body positioning as well, how your right foot affects your body position, your center of mass.
Totally.
Going into the throw.
Significant effects.
And we're talking right leg, right foot, what it's doing after the impulse, penultimate, your last right foot contact before you throw the javelin.
So much of throwing the javelin is about what we talked about earlier is energy. And where are we putting energy? And all the energy that we develop in the approach, even into the last right to left, has got to put energy into the spear. And if our energy of our center of mass is constantly going forward, either by a soft right or a pod right, coming in not hot at all, to coming in too hot, both ending up with center mass forward, what do we do to try to get that right left down to get the hip action in?
So learning how to use your right leg in your approach.
I got up, did you see that?
Yeah.
I got excited.
Allows your hip action to develop.
Totally. It's putting energy from the hips into the throw without, when the center of mass is forward, the hips are already behind. Mm-hmm. Do we soft right to get to the left?
No.
Do we push?
No.
What do we do?
You turn.
Turn under. Get the hip in. Right, left. Hip in. To come in with that soft right or a passive right versus the overactive pushing right, which both result in a forward center of mass display. Make it difficult to A, hold a block, but then B, your center of mass is in front of your throw, leaving your hips behind. All you have is maybe the chest and the arm that simply comes over top.
When I was in high school, we learned a soft right. Like,
Soft right.
yeah, we used to do a drill where someone would lay on the ground and you would impulse over that person and then have to step on their stomach with your right foot and get your left foot down to the ground.
That sounds dangerous.
And you're not wearing spikes, obviously.
I was wondering.
Surgery.
How do we make javelin a full contact sport,
Yeah.
like old times,
Yeah.
ancient warfare?
Yeah. And that taught you supposedly to step softly with your right foot and just get off of it onto your left. But it didn't teach you to turn your hip into anything.
So I have two questions with that. What happens to the center of mass when you're soft right to left? And what happens to your acceleration? Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Okay?
Correct. And especially when you're trying not to squish a person, your center of mass is gonna go forward because you're trying to just get out of the way and get off of that right foot.
So when center of mass is forward, we're not able to achieve putting mass into the spear.
You're moving your upper body away from where the javelin is going at that point, down and forward versus like forward and up. Yeah. Because you don't have time to save it when your upper body is already pitching forward.
Totally.
As a result of the soft right.
Begin. So let's go back to the pawing, because I think that's the other end of the spectrum as well, right? So you have the soft right, that results in a forward center of mass. Right?
You're just falling onto your block, right?
Correct. Versus the pawing. And I think that one's the coming in hat. Right? Like out of control hat.
And false sense of speed.
Totally.
Yes.
From like just basic running mechanics, right? Of pushing behind you obviously pushes the chest forward. And so while you don't want to lose speed, you're actually delaying the left foot coming down when you push off the left, because you're extending the foot versus being able to get the left foot down.
Right. Pushing off the right.
Yes.
Pushes the left foot forward,
Right.
rather than snapping it down.
And as it pushes the left foot forward, the center of mass again falls forward.
So with a soft right and with a pawing right, you not only shift your center of mass forward, but you also just by definition leave your hips behind. So you're either falling onto your left and you're kind of like reaching for the block by having a soft right, or you're pawing, your center of mass goes forward, yes, but like if your right leg is way behind you, your right hip can't get in front of the throw.
Not a chance. The other thing real quick, let's talk about, she's totally cheating because she's got it right. The angle of that foot. So her right foot is turned into a portion of the sector of the throw, right? I see a lot of folks, especially my two pitchers that have turned jab throwers, have a ridiculous amount of perpendicular foot into the sector of the throw. And that significantly turns a push mechanism like freaking crazy, whether it's soft or active. Turning that foot in with the toe up allows the knee to come in faster. So right here.
So what do you do? What's correct? What do we try to do?
What are we working on? What I think is critically important, and it's I think an oversight, is I like to use the cue knee up, toe up, and that's a sprint mechanic. Knee up, toe up. So by having a stiff, solid right foot as you come down, you don't waste time in that absorption of energy to then get it to react to the ground and throw the hip. I think by that time, the left foot in the center of mass is trying to figure out what to do. So if you come in hard off that left impulse step, penultimate step, whatever you call it, with a knee up, toe up right here, it gives more time to get the left out in front. But then also it's a reactionary, foot lands underneath the center of mass and drive the knee down. With the heel out and the knee down, everything else is allowed to chain reaction and kind of spiral up into the throw, creating that stretch reaction through the hip, core, chest, and ultimately the arm, being patient to turn under. But by being able to react to the ground and throw that knee down, I simply say, what's the quickest way to get the left foot down? Bend the right knee. Turn that foot down and in. Drive that knee down, which literally takes everything up into the throw from the ground up. So the left foot's down, the hips can slam into and have a great hip action.
Yeah.
And the hips you want to be what's pulling the rest of the system of the chain through the energy of the throw. You will be the expert demonstrator. Just gonna pick up that left leg paw, knee up, toe is up. And because she's slow motion, she can actually control her center of mass a little bit more. I don't know if you can bring in a little bit more. But that knee up, toe up, driving the knee down, pulls the left foot back in, and then heel lands first. Great straight line. Do that one more time and hold. I'm looking at the length of pull now. It's from the left foot all the way up to the right hand. The center mass being behind the block allows more energy and force into the block. One more time.
So you're
Also show like that hip in.
okay. Strong impulse.
Strong
Knee
impulse.
up,
That's
toe
the whole
up.
thing.
Wait for the ground. Turn the right knee to the ground.
I was really excited.
Uh-huh.
Good. I'm gonna watch the hip action behind it, up and through. Going. She gone.
Rocket ship.
I could like tangent from there too, but we're gonna like
Stay focused.
keep working on. I'm a rabbit trail.
Somehow we're gonna stay focused.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
That's my knee. Foot, whole left leg. Left leg. Toe up.
You know what's really fun about using the right leg that way? I feel like when I was trying to soft right and just hit a block, that was really scary because it was all about just holding that left leg straight. And you needed so much more speed to accomplish that because you weren't developing it with your right side. You were just relying on like the runway speed. So to be able to feel like you're still creating energy with your right leg, even though it's not getting in the way of your throw, is super fun.
Totally. And I just thought about this. Like, both of us have had left knee significant injuries. And what's crazy, and part of just being a resilient athlete, is learning from the mistakes, injuries as opportunities, which I believe taught me how to hit a block.
Yeah.
Right? So learning that coming in sideways, a faster right to left is actually safer on my left leg versus just running in like a bat out of hell to stick and hopefully hold a left side,
Right.
which blows up the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, because speed kills, right?
Yeah.
So, but acceleration with the appropriate components of the timing actually solidified my block. We both have actually had back injuries as well. And I think a lot of it had to do with hoping to hold on to that left and the back just crunching, where when you stay closed and turn that right knee in, you drive with force into the left, and that force comes up and through the throw, which is ideal.
We talked about changing my left foot position as well. This is a little bit off topic. But part of my mentality there, instead of like coming at the block straight forward with my foot, I try to come in a little bit pigeon-toed, which I had done naturally in the past, but doing that intentionally allows me to push my right side against that left side. It's like I'm like just opposing forces with the way my feet are even pointing, and then everything gets redirected straight up and into the throw.
Completely.
Fantastic.
Completely. I love it. Here, you're not doing a good job of bad examples.
I'm so sorry.
Stay behind the center pass. And cut. The worst is those little black little thingies.
Yeah.
If you do abs, and then they creep down your crack.
Yeah. Or down the sports, like down your neck.
Yeah, and
down
then
the
I take
sports
them off
bra.
at home when I like am done for the day, and I'm like, mouse turns. That's I thought every time. It freaks me out.